Greetings and welcome back. This week we're diving into Chapter 8, Finding and Evaluating Business Information. It's super important in this chapter that we do review the 5 learning objectives, but I also want to dive a little deeper in the topic of AI, generative AI, and primary research techniques. So, in this chapter, it's how do you determine what information you'll need? How do you conduct your research in print and online resources? How do you conduct primary research? And also, how do you effectively organize the results of your research? Sometimes information overload can be a little difficult, so techniques are discussed here. But remember, we all have access to LinkedIn Learning now too. So I want you to dive into LinkedIn Learning this week, and any topic such as primary research, dive in and learn more. This is a great visual way to dive in, dig deeper. All right, now let's take a look at the modules and the resources as well as the work for the week. Your module is always laid out with agendas, overview, attendance verifications, and pre-recorded lectures. To demonstrate your skills this week, I have my BCom lab activities ready to go, as well as an assignment based on generative IA, and you will be using LinkedIn Learning. So, in this assignment, I've made sure to provide the SSO link to your free access, as well as provide the instructions for this assignment. Hybrid students will be diving into this in person. All right, now let's take a look at your final project. As discussed earlier, we're going to use LinkedIn as our final project. This is worth 15% of your grade. And what I've done is created a course list that will actually result in a LinkedIn Learning certificate entitled Essential Business Communication Skills. This certificate will then be applied to your profile that you will, if you haven't already, created in LinkedIn. So now what I've done is I've created the suggested timeline for you. Everything on this timeline is suggested with the except for one thing. That is the final production of posting your certificate to LinkedIn and the complete summary. So everything else, I've suggested a pace. For example, this coming week, communicating with confidence. The next week, I have 2. 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 Never exceeding more than an hour and a half of videos total. Then you'll be completing your survey and your summary. So this is your written summary expectations. Compose an executive brief, including the following: brief overview of the learning content as a whole, feedback, or what we call the takeaways. What information was especially helpful? Was there any information that you would have liked to have be included in the series? This will help me change up the library listing. Identify how you will apply the information learned and other learning resources that you plan to take advantage of while you have this membership. Remember, I've prepaid for 3 years. So now's the time to dive into LinkedIn and learn as much as you can. Include a snip or screenshot of your profile page which demonstrates your completion of the certificate or the completed LinkedIn certificate with your name and profile on it. There you go. This will be the 15% of your final grade previously named research project. I suggest you dive in as soon as possible and don't procrastinate. So before I let you go and you dive into Chapter 8, I want to make sure you have the attendance verification keyword or phrase for the week. This week it is primary research. If you select that, you'll earn all 25 points for the week. All right, there you go. This week it's Chapter 8. Dive in, have fun, learn a lot, and again, reach out with any questions or concerns.